What's the best revenge story? My dad remarried to a absolute she-devil a few years ago. When my mother died, the house fell silent in ways I didn't know silence could be. Even the clocks seemed afraid to tick. My father stopped talking much, his voice always trembling between grief and guilt. I tried to hold on to keep the memory of my mom alive by wearing her silver necklace every day. It was her favorite, delicate, heart-shaped, and etched with tiny wings. Then she came, Marissa, my dad's new wife. At first, she was everything a broken family could want. Smiling, baking cookies, pretending to listen to my stories. I wanted to believe she cared. I wanted to believe she could fill the hollow in our home. But kindness can be a costume, and hers started slipping. It began with small things, rolling her eyes when Dad wasn't watching, whiskering ungrateful brat when I left a dish in the sink. Soon it turned into names. Cruel, venomous words that slithered into my ears and made my stomach twist. Dad didn't believe me. He said I was still adjusting. He said, Marissa's trying her best. Don't make things harder than they already are. Then one morning, my mother's necklace vanished. I tore my room apart, searched every drawer, even emptied the vacuum cleaner bag, but it was gone. When I confronted Marissa, she gave me that pity smile that burned worse than any insult. Sweetheart, maybe your mom took it with her, she said, hand over her chest in fake sorrow. And my father, my own father, told me to stop being dramatic. That's when I decided, if the truth couldn't speak for itself, I'd make it scream. I bought tiny hidden cameras online. I learned how to install them without being noticed. One by one, I placed them in the hallway, the kitchen, the living room, even inside a decorative plant in the study. Every corner of that house would finally see what I saw. Days passed. Marissa played her angelic act perfectly whenever Dad was home. But I caught glimpses. Her sneer at my laundry, her whispered curses when she thought she was alone. Then came the day of the vase. It was my father's favorite, a crystal vase from his honeymoon with Mom. I heard the crash from upstairs and ran down to see shards glittering across the floor like shattered ice. Marissa stood there, clutching her robe, looking horrified. She did it, she shouted, pointing at me as Dad stormed in. I told her not to play ball inside. She broke it. No, I didn't. But my dad's disappointment hit harder than any slap. He said, go to your room, now. That night, I sat in the dark, shaking, until I remembered the cameras. When I opened the footage, my world cracked wider than that vase. There she was, Marissa, in our living room, kissing that stranger, laughing as the vase shattered. The sound of it breaking echoed through the silent room. Gasps erupted. The man sitting beside me dropped his fork. Dad froze, his face turning from confusion to disbelief to rage. Marissa ran out, sobbing, humiliated. Dad didn't speak for a long time. Then he turned to me, eyes filled with shame, and whispered, I'm so sorry. A week later, she was gone. When I opened my drawer the next morning, there it was, my mother's necklace, gleaming softly, waiting for me. And for the first time in years, the house was silent again. But this time, it was peaceful.